Rita Oras. Hello Africa, how are you doing? I hope you're doing great, mama.
Greetings, folks. This is yours truly, Harry Agena, with Afroscope Project and Afroscope.com, of course. Where am I? I am at Hawthorne Suites in Abuja, the capital city of Nigeria. And why am I here? Well, I am here for World Consumer Rights Day in Nigeria. Okay, and there are some events also happening there. Okay, this is just an introduction to tell you what's about to happen or what we are going to see in a few minutes, and just go with me inside the convention hall for the World Consumer Rights Day. All right, there we go.
Never see you Africa, but I feel you Africa. My vein is full of your blood. My heart is full of your love. You're my number one, the one I'm crazy for.
Okay, folks, I am inside the event hall. Okay, and Afroscope Project and Media Against Indiscipline are here because we are very interested in consumer rights in Nigeria. Let me tell you, Nigeria is among the worst countries in the world in terms of consumer rights appreciation or applications. Very, very, very bad. Right? For instance, if you buy something, let me give you just one example. You buy something in Nigeria today, this minute, and you leave the shop and go out for 1 minute and come back into the shop and say there's a problem with your product. Guess what? You got a problem. They aren't going to let you. You will have to fight if you know you're right. That's why this kind of event is very important, because you have to know you're right and fight like a lion in order to get that right in this country called Nigeria, because they are already used to not giving rights. For instance, warranties practically don't exist in Nigeria. You buy anything, it doesn't have any warranty. Even when they give you any warranty, you go back, you're going to have to fight to apply it, to actually get that thing replaced. And for instance, in the US where I am, you buy something, you have at least 3 months to bring it back. Okay? Unless you damage it completely, unless you damage that product completely, you will just take it without any questions and say, sorry, you don't like our product. Okay, all right, please come again next time. In Nigeria, just one day alone, you got a problem to return that product. For instance, when I was in school, let me give you a secret. When I was in school in the US, okay, during my school days, I will actually go to some shops and buy a suit, because I need to wear a suit to go somewhere. I'll go and buy the suit, use it for a while. I mean, hey, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's a great thing to do. As a youngster, of course, I was doing it. But now, as an elder, I know what I was doing wasn't something to be proud of. But yes, I'm just saying that to tell you how it is that the difference between a place like US and Nigeria. So, you can buy a suit and use it for a couple of weeks or even a month. As long as you don't have any damage on it, they will take it back from you. In Nigeria, there's nothing like warranty. So you can't even return one a few days later or 1 day later. You can't return it. So yes, this event is very, very, very important, very necessary in Nigeria. And the body that is having this activity, this event, FCCPC, that's Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission. It's a federal consumer rights organization that is trying to now bring back the rights of Nigerians for warranties or for damaged products or for substandard products, because it has become very, very necessary to fight that anomaly in the 21st century Nigeria. Okay, the event hasn't started yet, so I'm just giving you a prelude to the event. Looks like we're about to start. So let's let's wait to see what happens here, and then I'll bring you updates, and then I'll give you the total package eventually. All right.
Chief Executive Officer of FCCPC, Mr. Tunji Bello. Please let's give him a round of applause, please, to welcome him. I'd like to invite very quickly, without much ado, a few of you that will be joining.
The event is just about to begin. Just starting. The convener has just arrived.
Invitees or participants are recognized, including my own NGO, Media Initiative Against Indiscipline.
It's a two-pronged event, as you are all aware. It is the World Consumer Rights Day, and is also happening alongside the National Young Consumer Contest, quiz presentation and awards. We'd like to welcome you. This is 2025 edition of the World Consumer Rights Day. We welcome our very revered, distinguished lead presenter in the person of the Lord Honorable Justice B.B. Kani, PhD, OFR, President, National Industrial Court of Nigeria. I'd like that we please welcome him with a very resounding applause, please. Let's give him a round of applause to welcome him. Let me also recognize the presence of our keynote speaker, very carefully selected, another very cerebral legal mind, who is winning on all fronts. He is here with us in flesh and blood. It is our pleasure to have Professor Joseph Iyabugu, SAN, a professor of commercial and industrial law. I'd like to please welcome you with a very big round of applause as well. In the same vein, I'd like to recognize the presence of Professor Chiso Nduke Okafor. She is a consumer advocacy and empowerment foundation, or rather, she owns Consumer Advocacy and Empowerment Foundation, Cardiff. Can we please welcome her with a very resounding applause as well? We'd like to appreciate your presence. Very many legal minds and very highly celebrated ones at that in this auditorium with us this morning. We're also privileged to have with us Barrister Temilade Oluwalana. Please, can we welcome Barrister Temilade Oluwalana with a round of applause? There are a few names that I'm also still hoping to get so we can recognize them and welcome them most appropriately to today's event. Professor Abiola Sani, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, is the Dean, Faculty of Law, University of Lagos. Let's please welcome him with a big round of applause as well. And another very popular mind and a legal mind as well, very reputable lawyer at that. I'd like to recognize the presence of Adegbaye, UFR, is the principal partner, Vantage Attorneys LP, legal practitioners and arbitrators. Please let's welcome him with a round of applause. Thank you so very much for joining us. I've also been given a few other names that we also must recognize at this point. I'd like to recognize and single out for recognition Food Hygiene Initiative of Nigeria. Can we welcome all of them with a round of applause? Human Rights Awareness Initiative, Hooray. Can we please welcome them with a round of applause as well? Youth Ambassador for Development and Legacy Initiative. Can we please welcome them as well? Youth for Peace and Socio-Economic Transformation Initiative, A round of applause for them as well. In the National Noble Initiative, they're also here. Please, a warm round of applause to welcome them. Media Initiative Against Indiscipline, they're also fully represented here. We'd like to welcome you. Welcome with a round of applause, please. Disney One Foundation, they're also here. We'd like to appreciate your presence. Thank you very much for joining us at this World Consumer Rights Day. And of course, we'd like to recognize the students of St. Teresa's Catholic Secondary School, Buhari, Abuja. They are here with their teachers. The principal, Reverend Sister Maureen Jocelyn Onya, IHM, is the principal of the school. We have students, Mr. Chidi Oswago, Miss Nonye Ukagba, and Miss Promise Kelechi Owoka. Can we give them a round of applause collectively? Thank you very much for joining us as well. We're also being joined by Academy Masaka, Nasarawa State, led by teacher Miss Faith Chika Wobi. Please a round of applause for her and the students. Government Secondary School, Baking Ado, Nasarawa State as well. We have leading this school, Mohammed Musa Ari, as their teacher. And we have Barakat Omika, Marira Omula, and Shagaba Emmanuel. Please can we give all of them a round of applause. Thank you very much for being part of the school. Government Junior Secondary School, Baking Adoka local government area, is also participating in this quiz contest. We have the teacher with them, Mohammed Oshafu, and the students, Esther Adekwe, Ape Samuel, Blessing Gabriel, and Yasmin Abdullahi. Can we give all of them a round of applause, please?
And so it is that the moderator calls the panelists to the high table.
Let me invite the representative of the Standard Organization of Nigeria at this occasion. Would like to invite Udoso Uduak. Can we please ask you to join them here so you can help us in balancing the gender. Let me recognize the presence of Ambassador Dr. Austin Njiako, Vice Chairman, NANS FCT, National Association of Nigerian Traders, Abuja.
And now, the 7-man panel, as the chauvinistic male tradition puts it, or the 7 men and women panel, as I, a feminist, prefer to say it, is now at the high table, and it's time to begin the show with Nigeria's national anthem.
Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land, though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians all are proud to serve our sovereign motherland.
I must tell ya, I hate to sing Nigeria's national anthem because I am so ashamed of the mess that our rulers have turned Nigeria into. They are hypocrites who do the exact opposite of the words of the anthem. Anyway, that's story for another day. Let's go on with the event with an excerpt of a short consumer rights documentary by FCCPC.
Every day, millions of Nigerians struggle to afford basic necessities as prices of essential goods skyrockets. From garri to cement, the rising cost of living has created a social and economic crisis. While exchange rate fluctuations contribute to price instability, some unscrupulous actors exploit the market through price gouging, collusion, and abuse of dominant positions.
What we're experiencing is spike in food prices is actually a balancing out of our past mistakes as a nation, where we do not manage our effects very properly, where we are not also able to manage our security concerns effectively, we chase a lot of people out of farms. However, also we have not been able to develop storage facilities for farmers to store their agricultural products. What I think Nigeria has achieved is, as we speak today, we have some level of relative stability. Even if the prices are high, there's relative stability, it's not spiking anymore, and then from there begin to work as a nation to see how we can bring the prices down.
In 2024, the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, under the leadership of its Executive Vice Chairman and Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Tunji Bello, took decisive action to address these issues by launching a nationwide campaign to tackle exploitative pricing. Through market surveillance, stakeholder engagement, and public awareness initiatives, the FCCPC has been raising awareness about the implications of exploitative pricing for businesses, while empowering consumers to demand fair treatment.
Our goal is to ensure there is free competition in wherever and in the markets. And then also we have to ensure that people are charged fair prices in the search to buy goods and services. So, and that's our responsibility. We must sustain that. That means that we are against consumer exploitation, price gouging, or price fixing. Our ask is not to fix price. We are not a price control board. So there are so many things that we do quite big that many people don't even get to know, members of the body don't get to know, because you also have to ensure that there is also market and price stability. Because if there is no market and price stability, and so the way you are waging will just be in vain.
The Federal Competition and Consumer mandated to promote fair competition and protect consumers from exploitative practices. Although the FCCPC does not control prices, it combats anti-competitive behaviors through market surveillance, stakeholder engagement, and public awareness campaigns. Under the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Act 2018, individuals and corporate entities found guilty of price gouging, price fixing, or other forms of exploitative pricing can face severe penalties, including imprisonment and fines. World Consumer Rights Day is commemorated annually on March 15th by Consumers International and its members to raise awareness about consumer rights and advocate for a fair, safe, and sustainable marketplace. The FCCPC is a proud member of this global movement. The theme for 2025, a just transition to sustainable lifestyles.
And now, it's time for the opening remark by the convener of the event, the CEO of the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission of Nigeria, Tunji Bello.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very delighted to welcome you to this event, intentionally designed to mark the World Consumer Rights Day in our own way. First, permit me to especially thank the keynote speaker and the panel of discussants for graciously accepting our request to do justice to the topic for discussion today. As already highlighted, the theme of this year's celebration is a just transition to sustainable lifestyles. In my view, this year's message couldn't be more apt, considering the essential challenges facing humanity across the world at the moment. Indeed, most countries are contending with inflationary trend, which has been traced to the economic destruction occasioned by COVID-19 of 2020. Unfortunately, just before the COVID pains could heal, came the Russian-Ukrainian war, which brought fresh destruction to the global food supply chain, thus worsening the plight of consumers of goods and services. Against this backdrop, it is therefore a matter of necessity that we rethink
our choices and fashion new coping strategy to adapt to new realities. Looking ahead, the world is undoubtedly moving towards a greener, more sustainable ways of living. The overarching challenge is ensuring that no one is left behind. Sustainability should not be a privilege for a few, but a right for all. A just transition means making sustainable products and services affordable, accessible, and fair to consumers, while ensuring that businesses and industries uphold responsible practices. As we celebrate the 2015 World Consumer Day, as we celebrate 2023 World Consumer Day, for us at the FCCPC, this is an opportunity to dedicate ourselves to championing the interests of the Nigerian consumers. By the FCCPC Act of 2018, our mandate is clear, which is the promotion and protection of the interests and welfare of consumers by ensuring there is fair competition and ethical business practices in the context of a just transition, and this means ensuring affordability and accessibility. That is, sustainable choices should not be expensive or difficult to access. They should be within the reach of all consumers. Empowering consumers, that is, providing accurate information and raising awareness about the impact of their choices so that they can make informed decisions. Next, holding business accountable. That is ensuring that industries comply with environmental and ethical standards while preventing deceptive marketing of so-called green products. Next, driving innovation and fair competition. That is encouraging businesses to develop sustainable products and services while ensuring a competitive market that benefits consumers. Lastly, protecting vulnerable communities. That is ensuring that low-income groups are not disproportionately burdened by the cost of transition to sustainability. Well, ladies and gentlemen, my job is not to preempt the parade of eminent scholars present here today by speculating on what the strategy and tactics should be in our collective quest to transit to sustainable lifestyles. I leave that core assignment to them. But before I take my seat, permit me to briefly respond to a very concerning trend, which is what I consider the misconception of the role of FCCPC in quarters. I observed this tendency among some of our commentators in the media space, who misunderstand the provisions of the law and inadvertently mislead the public. To be sure, Sections 17 and 18 of the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Act 2018 expressly vest the Commission with the statutory authority to regulate competition and consumer protection across all sectors in our national life, which is consistent with global best practices. This notion was in fact recently affirmed by the Court of Law, our Court of Competent Jurisdiction. In one word, the law charges the FCCPC to champion the rights of consumers of goods and services in Nigeria. It is therefore very disturbing to hear or read parochial arguments of those who, out of ignorance of the law, seek to erect walls of sophistry against FCCPC in its discharge of its clear mandate. The Commission has never claimed or presented to be a price control board. Rather, we get involved when the rights of consumers are breached or when the market is being manipulated in a manner that impedes fair competition.
Next is the keynote speaker.
It is my pleasure to be amongst you today, and it is also my pleasure to be the keynote address speaker at this year's World Consumers' Rights Day 2025. Now, it was in 1962 that President John F. Kennedy presented a speech to the United States Congress, where he extolled 4 basic consumer rights. These were later termed the Consumer Bill of Rights. Thereafter, the United Nations, through the United Nations Guidelines for Consumer Protection, expanded these rights into 8 rights. And thereafter, Consumers International adopted these rights as a charter and started recognizing March 15 as the World Consumer Rights Day. Today, we celebrate the World Consumer Rights Day with the theme, A Just Transition to Sustainable Living. Just how important consumer rights are can be quickly answered by a brief overview of some data worldwide. 7 years ago, it is recorded that there were about 3.5 billion consumers in the world. 5 years from now, it is projected that this number will have risen to 5.6 billion consumers. As of today, our current global population is put at about 8.1 billion people. More than half of this, about 4.8 billion, are consumers.
No, sir, I disagree. Everybody in the world is a consumer.
Hence, consumer rights and the 2025 theme are a billion impact-making concepts that are capable of setting the world on a fast-track achievement of sustainable development goals. The context of the global situation necessitating a theme such as we have this year relates to the growing threat which biodiversity loss and population and pollution poses to our planet and health as humans. It is reported that the warmest periods of this Mother Earth since its inception has been recorded in the past decades. And even right now, here in Nigeria, we have been experiencing unexpected weather changes. Gone are the days when you could reasonably predict what the weather will be for even a year. The order of the day in Nigeria today is to listen to daily weather forecast. And sometimes the forecast will tell you it is going to be sunny, but midday you will see torrential rainfall. The food supply and fluctuation in food prices in Nigeria has been attributed to these unpredictable weather changes. These crises justify the need for a just transition to sustainable lifestyle, the theme of this year's celebration. The challenges are not just environmental, but they are also economic and social in nature. To preserve our planet and plants, we must make concessions in our lifestyles as consumers and citizens. Concessions in how we eat, what we eat, how we heat our environment, how we travel, how we transact, how we call, how we power and plan our homes, and even how we buy and banter, amidst a sustainable and healthy choice of goods and services that are available and accessible. Yet, this just transition is not to be at the expense of our basic rights and needs, but rather it is to be a platform to deliver sustainable lifestyles. Let me tell you a short African story to drive home these points. It's a story that I have captioned the Baobab Promise. The Baobab is a tree scientifically known as Adansonia. It's a remarkable native species found in Madagascar, mainland Africa, and in Australia. In some part of the northern Nigeria, you can see, some of it. It is characterized by its massive trunk, which can store thousands of liters of water. For those immediate communities surrounding or where this plant exists, the baobab tree is a source of living waters to meet their daily needs. The tree can reach heights of up to 30 meters and can live for over 1,000 years. Its unique silhouette, often resembling an upside-down tree, makes it a striking feature of the African landscape. In many cultures, this tree is more than just a tree. It holds deep spiritual, cultural significance. often regarded as a symbol of life, fertility, and communal cohesion. Various tribes have woven this tree into their cultural narratives, celebrating its presence in rituals and folklore. I draw on the analogy of this baobab tree in espousing the theme of this year's World Consumers Day.
So, the keynote speaker uses his analogy to analyze the ecosystem of a given community in relation to the theme of the event, which says a just transition to sustainable lifestyles. You know, I cannot possibly feature the entire length of each speaker's presentation here because they are all too long. So, let's move on to the next speaker.
Thank you so much, Professor Abudu, for your presentation. It actually sets a very ground, detailed tone to the discussions that we're going to have. And I have a number of questions. My job is very simple. Invite the panelists to come and answer questions. I was a little bit worried in this just transition thing until it was clear by Prof that even though there's going to be sacrifice, our Sunday rice and pomo stew will not just be taken away. It's not one size fits all. Very well. So without much time wasting, I would like to invite our first panelist to come forward. Let me invite Honorable Justice Benedict Kanyib to make his presentation briefly, and then we follow up with questions. I think that we're good? Very good.
Let me start by saying I agree with what Professor Abugu said, with one reservation. He said out of 8.1 billion people, only 4.8 billion are consumers. I don't know whether Prof believes that one. My viewpoint is that the 8.1 billion are all consumers.
Yes. Agree. Everybody's a consumer.
Even an unborn child consumes. So that's the only reservation I have in Prof's presentation. Last year I was invited by his department to do a talk in Lagos, and he was a discussant. Today he's doing the lead, I'm discussing. So my intervention really is additional to all he has said. I've been asked to do a summary, so I will try. But there's a portion I would really want to emphasize, and that is the tail end where I address the issue of the effect of digitalization, artificial intelligence on our lifestyles. I didn't know that school children were asked to do something on that, but there are some things that bother me, and I think that I just need to make that point, if not for anything, for purposes of this year's World Consumer Rights Day. Now, I started off by situating our discussions, understanding who a consumer is. Prof has already done that within the context of communal relationships. And I supplied a Court of Appeal decision under the old dispensation of the Consumer Protection Council Act, where the Court of Appeal acknowledged that consumers go beyond individuals and include communities. So I acknowledge that fact. Then I also make the point that within the context of the theme of this year's World Consumer Rights Day, you cannot understand the question of a just transition without necessarily understanding what consumer policy is. And I gave 5 policies, the 4th and 5th of which are the ones that are more relevant for present purposes. The 4th consumer policy talks about convergence between environmental protection and consumer protection. And it is premised on the fact that there is a strong link between production, consumption, and disposal of goods and a sustainable environment. The 5th consumer policy talks about how public health, objective of society, also coincides with consumers. Of course, the Baobab story brought out some of these things within the cultural setting, as Prof had already done.
And he goes on to talk about the relationship between the producers and consumers in our community, including this fact.
Our lives have been deliberately transfigured on one simple conceit: invent a problem and then sell the solution. This is the reality of modern lifestyle.
And schemes such as this one.
Our lives is changed by secret deals made by corporations in secret. They sign an agreement that no electricity company in the world should do a light bulb that will last more than 6 months. As I talk to you, there is a state in the US where an electricity bulb has been showing the light since the 19th century. In other words, for over 100 years, there is a light bulb in this world that is still lighting. It has not gone dead. Yet, we buy this and barely a month or 2 later, you have to buy. Thank you.
Next is Professor Okafor, who, among other things, speaks on the need to educate producers and consumers of products and services, especially food products, on some dangers inherent in ignorant application of technology.
But my approach today is based on the conversation on the keynote speech. And I want to come from a policy perspective. Many Nigerian consumers, especially in rural areas, lack access to transparent product information, limiting the ability to make informed choices about sustainable consumption. So the judge spoke about GMO seeds. Now imagine in the village, you tell them, I'm giving you seeds at a subsidized rate, don't worry about it. They don't understand the implications of this. So they can't make informed decisions. You tell them you're getting subsidized fertilizers. They don't understand the labeling. So they overuse it in order to get big produce, but as a result, have you ever gone to the market and bought yam tomorrow? It's spoiled. Yeah, as a result, the food itself now begins to create health challenges for us.
And the next speaker focuses on the right of consumers to be informed on the products and services that we are paying for. For instance, we must be informed about the contents of beverages that are concocted for us to drink.
I'm not here as a lawyer today. I'm here as a market woman. And I will talk like a market woman. Yes, I notice my ogas, they'll be speaking big grammars. And I notice some of my women, they are lost. I will try as much as possible to bring this down to our level. Number one, the reason why we are here today is for us as consumers, number one, to know our rights. And my Oga here today, my Lord, he tried to explain that all of us here present, we are consumers. At one point, or the other. Because whether you like it or not, you go to the market, you buy things, you engage people to render some services to you and all that. So you are all consumers. And as consumers, you have your own rights. Number one, you have rights to transparent information. You have the right to know about the thing you are buying. For instance, I sell food, and if you come to my place and I offer you, let's say, kunuaya to drink, and you have never seen kunuaya before, you have the right to ask me, what is this kunuaya? How do they make this kunuaya? If I take this kunuaya, I hope this kunuaya will not harm me in any way. And I must explain to you that there is a seed in the northern land that they call tiger nut. And it is from tiger nut, when you grind it, the milk now, that is the kunuaya that you add coconut to and dates, if you like, or sugar and dates. So it is not left to you to buy or leave it. That is your right. You have the right to question, to ask, for you to understand what you are about to enter into. And you see, this thing too, it is applicable to when you want to enter into a contract.
I want to chip in at this moment because I heard the house on how to do like 4 things in that question. We are talking about sustainability. Sorry, I bring you greetings from the Director General and Chief Executive Standards Organization of Nigeria, Dr. Ifeanyi Chukwunonso Okeke, and Mrs. Udonso. When we're talking about sustainability, a just transition, I just want us to bounce our mind on what is very big. In our different homes, we've been transitioning to have a sustainable home. I know we have a lot of women here, so let me use a practical scenario. The food that you make at home, now we don't make food to waste. You make food that immediately you cook it, everybody finish eating them. And when you are buying your products that you want to make the food, you go for natural ingredients, those ones that are cheaper from the farmers. You say, I'm going to local market, let me get them cheap. Is it not women? We are trying to build a sustainable lifestyle. Then by the time the food remains, instead of leaving it, you put it in your freezers, is it not? Those that don't have freezers, they now warm it. Make sure they warm it so that it doesn't get bad. We can eat it the next day. What I'm trying to say is that we have been setting standards to have a sustainable lifestyle without even knowing. And standard is what drives this sustainable lifestyle.
I said it before, and I say it once again. Nigeria is one of the worst countries in the world. I repeat, one of the worst countries in the world in terms of consumer rights. And eventually, now, finally, they are getting interested. The government is getting a little interested. But even then, it's still difficult because there are not a lot of people out there. There are very, very few people out there who, as a matter of fact, in some occasions where I am in Nigeria and I'm fighting for my right for returning a product that is not good, you will see Nigerians behind you. If it's a queue, that you see some people, Nigerians behind you, who are saying, "Oh God, please get out of the queue, man. Is that what you're talking about? What is wrong with you? Why are you talking about the product being bad? I beg, go out. Get out. You're wasting our time." That's how bad it is in Nigeria, because people believe that it's a norm. That once you buy anything, it's your headache, it's your business. No matter what happens to that product, that's your headache. It doesn't concern the person who sold the product to you. So, when it was time for questions and answers and comments at this World Consumer Rights Day event, I was the first to quickly take up the mic.
I am Harry again with Media Initiative Against Indiscipline. Mine is a comment. Professor Okafo is whose statement I want to echo.
Harry again, he has mentioned it.
She said something about public enlightenment, in other words. As a media professional, I would like to echo what she said. What happens with public enlightenment will make FCCP's job a million times easier. So I'm going to give you an example. Once upon a time, I got to Nigeria here and I had a problem because, I'm not used to Nigerian systems. So I had to fight. I get radical, actually. Okay? So I had a fight with MTN because they did not honor warranty. And that's another thing. The thing is a little bit compound, right? With that, I'm also addressing the issue that multinationals in Nigeria do something that is completely terrible. The things that they will not do in their original countries, they do it in Nigeria because they know they get away with it. When I was there at MTN to fight for my right, I saw Nigerians who were behind me in queue fighting me for fighting MTN. You understand what I'm saying? They were fighting me for fighting MTN for refusing to give me my warranty. Okay? Excuse me, I need to conclude this, please. I need to conclude.
I think the question is clear.
No, it's not a question. I want to make a point. In other words, I'm saying that if FCCPC, if you spend more time, more money on public enlightenment, so that every Nigerian will fight for their rights, exactly. Your job will be much, much, much easier.
Exactly. That's what it is. Good point. Well noted. Yes, I saw your hands.
Host Samuel from International Institute of Journalism. I'm a consultant there. I'm interested in the pricing matters. I believe that the FCCPC should be empowered of having price control because of what is happening currently in Nigeria. The DSTV has consistently increased their rates and they are not capable of doing anything. Currently, DSTV has taken them to court. So I want the Executive Vice Chairman to throw some light on this.
The possibility of FCCPC having price control power, National Assembly.
I must say that I was not really impressed by the responses to the questions raised by the people at the event. But let's forget all about that and move on to the competition by the school children.
All of the persons participating, can we have them come out? Can we set chairs quickly for them here? Very quickly. Okay, I'm told that you're going to be standing. So can we have your representatives? The persons to represent, can we have them come out quickly, please? We're going to make it very simple. And you're at liberty to pick a question. The questions are it is an objective. Yes, please. Someone should hold a mic for us so they can pass it around. When a mic is given to you, your name and the name of your school, and you go straight to answering the question. Do we have janitors that will also keep time? Is that okay? Am I clear, students? You're very correct. Are you ready? Are you ready? All right. So, pick a question. I'll start from my left. God, do you belong to the same school? Only one person per school. But if you think you want to be the one to represent your school, fine. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 schools participating. Are you ready? Please pick a question. Number one. What school is that? From St. Teresa Catholic School, Buhari, Abuja. Okay, well. All right. Number one. Please pay attention. And please know If you whistle, we'll cancel the question even if you got it right. Which of the following is an example of an unfair trade practice? Which of the following is an example of an unfair trade practice? A. Offering discounts during sales. B. Misleading advertising. C. Providing after-sales services. And D. Allowing consumers to compare products. B. Misleading advertising is correct. Please give me a round of applause. The second person, please pick a question.
Question 3.
Question number 3.
My name is Annabelle Jefo from Government Secondary School, Kudapi.
All right. Annabelle, please pay attention. If a product has passed its best before date, what should you do? If a product has passed its best before date, what should you do? A. Immediately discard it. B. Check for signs of spoilage before consuming. C. Report it to the manufacturer. D. It depends on whether it is medicine or perishable food. Your answer?
You report it to the manufacturer.
That's not the right answer. That's all. You don't have. Please put your hands together for her. If a product has passed its best before, in a language, it means it has expired. It means it has expired. What do you do? Discard it.
Number 4.
Question number 4. Please pay attention. Which of the following is an example of an unethical AI use? Which of the following is an example of an unethical AI use? A. A bank using AI to fairly approve loans based on financial records. B. A hiring AI system rejecting applicants based on race or gender. C. An AI-powered assistant providing accurate recommendations. And D. A healthcare AI diagnosing diseases based on medical tests.
Option B.
Option B, a hiring AI system rejecting applicants is correct. Please make an applause for him louder than that. Which right ensures that consumers can access a variety of goods and services at fair prices? A. Right to safety. B. Right to choose. C. Right to be informed. And D. Right to a healthy environment.
B. Right to choose.
Very correct, ladies and gentlemen. A round of applause. Question number 11. Please listen. Please, no side talks. Question number 11. What is a consumer sovereignty? What is a consumer sovereignty? A. The power of government to regulate the market. B. The ability of consumers to make independent choices based on available products and services. C. The right of businesses to set up any price they want. And D. A law that allows businesses to operate without restrictions. B. The ability to make independent choices is very correct. Please give him a round of applause. Thanks for your name and school and then that of your question, please. Which of the following is an anti-competitive practice? Which of the following is an anti-competitive practice? A. Encouraging innovation and fair pricing. B. Companies colluding to fix prices. C. Allowing consumers to have multiple choices. And D. Promoting new businesses in the market. D is wrong. The answer is B. Companies colluding to fixing prices. Please. Now, which of the following, your question, which of the following is an example of sustainable consumption? A. Using plastic bags for every purchase. B. choosing products with minimal packaging. C, wasting food regularly. And D, buying cheap disposable products frequently. B, choosing products with minimal packaging is correct.
And so on and on and on until most of the contestants are eliminated down to the three last ones. The first, second, and third finalists' positions who won the sums of 500,000 naira, 300,000 naira, and 100,000 naira, respectively, each with additional electronic products, including computers.
All right, thank you very much. Please collect the mic back and let her receive her prize from the Executive Vice Chairman. Stand so that the cameras can see you. Can you leave her alone with the EVC? Prize. It is a check that is given on. There is no cash. Thank you very much. Competition and Consumer Protection Commission National Young Consumer Contest Award 2024 goes to hypertension. Nigeria Navy Secondary School, Port Harcourt, Nigeria. Nigeria Navy Secondary School, Port Harcourt. They are the winners of the first prize, and you have won for yourselves 500,000 naira, that is 500,000 naira, and 3-in-1 computer. Please give them a round of applause. To do us the honor of presenting this first prize to the deserving winners, it is my honor and privilege to invite my Lord Honorable Justice B.B. Kanyip, PhD, OFR, President, National Industrial Court of Nigeria, to do us the honor of presenting this to the first prize winners. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, my lord. Thank you. First prize winners, give them a round of applause one more time. And to all the participating schools, better luck next time.
And then comes the end of the event with the gentleman and his vote of thanks.
Garba Yahya Kudan to do us the honor of moving the very brief vote of thanks. And please just keep protocol if you can. Thank you.
All protocol duly observed. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. As we conclude this inspiring celebration of World Consumer Rights and our National Young Consumer Context, I extend my deepest gratitude to everyone who made today gathering possible. A special thanks to our esteemed Executive Vice Chairman, whose visionary leadership has been a beacon of guidance. Today's gathering is a testament to our collective commitment to championing consumer rights. Your energy and support have ignited a spark that will inspire change and progress long after this event. Thank you for being a part of this memorable day. Let us carry the momentum forward and continue to drive positive change in our communities and Nigeria as a whole. Thank you and wishing you safety to our various destinations. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you. Please let me have, just before the national anthem, refreshments will be served. So as soon as we are done with the national anthem, don't be in a rush to go. They will serve you refreshments, your meals, and water and certain drinks to go with it.
Bye for now from afroscope.com.
Africa.